how to write a training program for a team or an individual athlete. First thing that I do right here is I print out a paper calendar. And the reason I do this is I want to see big picture, annual plan, the athletes and who I'm training in the big macro. From here, once you have this here and you're able to see the entire calendar, what you then do is you start putting in things that you know will not change. So you put in their games. And then from there, you start putting in, if you work in college or in high school, you start putting in holidays and days that you know that you cannot train. If you're working in professional sport, you start putting in the different big planning of travel that you know is going on. So you get it all organized right there for you. So you see, hey, all right, this is this week in this summer, but I actually don't have 5 days this week because I'm losing this day. You need to understand all of it. And from there, now you can start getting into the weeds in the different parts of the off season. If you want to understand the early off season, we have a video. Click down below for that video talking about how to use 1x20 on the field for change of direction, speed, jumps, all of that stuff, right? We have a video explaining that, and I think you should utilize that in your early off season with the athletes that you have. But now you can start to put it all and piece it together from that piece of paper. The next step that I do, right here, I have my spiral bound notebook. My spiral bound notebook is where I start writing like, okay, hey, day 1. And then I have my different categories, right? My categories, my explosive movements, knee dominant, lower body, knee dominant, double leg, single leg, posterior chain, hip dominant, knee dominant, double leg, single leg, horizontal push pull, vertical push pull. And now I have all my different categories. I break my torso up, inner unit, stability, all of the things that we've talked about inside Strength Coach Network. And I have all my categories. And then I start writing in, okay, what are the exercises that are going to fit in with this category based upon the training age of the team or the athlete or group of athletes that I'm working with. Then I'll start writing in sets and reps from there. Now that I've seen it and I'll macro it, like I've said, sometimes I've done 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. My love is 5 weeks. I love a 5-week program for athletes or anybody, because weeks 1 and 2, you're really learning the movement. And then the final 3 weeks is when you're really getting all the juice out of that movement and you're able to optimize why you wanted to use that before. So you go through it, and I'll use a full page of paper on that one day and breaking it down. And then I go to, day 2. And I'm making sure that I'm hitting all these qualities. Now, if you're in an in-season where you're only training the team maybe 2 days a week, I like to program a 2-week block for 5 weeks. Now, follow me with this. If I'm doing let's say I'm doing a lower body emphasis and I'm doing a heavy bilateral movement on that first day, the next time that I train the athletes, instead of staying bilateral, I'll do a heavy unilateral. And then the next time they come in, they go to week 2 of that bilateral, right? So by running that concurrent cycle or whatever way you want to call it, I now can sleep better at night because I know I've trained the athletes and hit all those different qualities no longer than 14 days apart. And I'll even, if I'm doing a bilateral push, right? Let's say I'm using trap bar deadlifter. People will probably call that hip dominant. I'm doing a squatting motion. What I will then do is pair it in the weight room with some explosive single leg movement. And then the next week, I would do a heavy unilateral movement with an explosive double leg movement. So I'm never not training that quality in the weight room. And again, I can always be able to sleep best at night because I've, know that I've prepared the athlete. Then once I have everything, I have the calendar and I know what, is day 1, week 1, and I see everything from the macro, and then I dive it into the micro each day. Then that's when I go into TeamBuildr, and that's when I make sure I start plugging in the exercises on the day. It's super easy because the very first thing, what you're going to build out is that first week. And then from there, you can copy that week, paste it into the next week that you want. And all you have to then do from there is you change your percentages based off of the progression that you're going with the team, whether it's linear or whatever you're doing, or if you're prescribing speeds because you're using your Vitruve unit, however you're utilizing it, that's where you're going to be able to just copy and paste. Make sure when you're adding your exercises, do a great diligent job at the beginning of making sure that you're programming the different categories, where it is, so that way if an athlete needs to opt out of that exercise, they can have a similar exercise Case in point, let's say you have back squat programmed and somebody can't do it because they have a back injury. They can opt out of it and then from the similar exercises be able to choose belt squat, pitch arc, whatever it is, because it's in that similar category. So spend time on your TeamBuildr library up front and make sure it's you and your staff filming these. It's not very good looking on you and the staff for you to have, some random person with their shirt off and a six-pack ab showing your athletes how to do the movement. You and your staff film the exercises, have a couple quick coaching cues. There's no reason these videos need to be super long. You're not doing a dissertation. Show them how to do the movement, tell them how to do the movement while you're showing them. Done. It should take about 15 seconds to have it done. That way, when your athletes are gone and they're referring to your school, your program, whatever's TeamBuildr, they can view you and your staff. So from a macro, again, that's how I program. Get your printable calendar, be able to see everything. When's day one? What are the things that, you need to understand and how to negotiate around? From there, write up your day one through whatever it is, have it in paper again. And then from here, plug it into TeamBuildr. Once you've plugged it into TeamBuildr, your life then gets easier. You can adjust things, copy it for your different levels of training maturity. What I would do is I would write that middle of the road vanilla program for the average athlete. Then when I would go to my superior athletes or my foundational athletes, I'd copy that, team program. And then I would regress the exercises, but the sets and reps would be able to stay the same, or I could change it all within there. So if that's a lot and you're like, hey man, please help me with my TeamBuildr stuff, reach out to us at service@strengthcoachnetwork.com. I'll be able to give you a little bit more personalized attention on how I utilize TeamBuildr. Like I said, been using them since 2019. I still go through this entire process. What I actually will do is I have a template of, ground-based explosive and, med ball, Olympics and blah, blah, blah. If you want that, to make sure that you have and you've covered all the different categories with your athletes, email us, ask for it, and we'll get that to you. Later. Get CEUs faster, cheaper, and more convenient than ever before with Strength Coach Network. Hey, it's Justin, here to tell you about how Strength Coach Network can now help you out with our premium membership and CEUs to the NSCA and CSCCA. Upon signing up for our premium membership, you will get 2.0 or 10 CEUs immediately. That is an entire year's worth of CEUs that you are able to access from the convenience of your office. No traveling for conferences, no waiting on flights, no eating out, no expensive hotels, just the good stuff from great coaches. Now, if you need extra CEUs for past years during the reporting period, we can bundle Fundamentals 1 or 2, which also come with 2.0 or 10 CEUs to your purchase. That way you're able to take care of your CEUs for the best price, most convenient, and learn from some of the best coaches. If you want more help with this, email us at service@strengthcoachnetwork or visit us at strengthcoachnetwork.com, and I would be delighted to help you out.